What's up, world? This is Sarah, the llstrumentalist, and you're watching Respect the Producer. Stay tuned.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl, the Queen Curator, and I'm back again for another episode of Respect the Producer. Today, I have the privilege of sitting with Sarah, the llstrumentalist. Sarah, how you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, you are so welcome. You're from?
I'm from Raleigh, North Carolina.
Okay.
And I was born and raised here. I spent a little time in Holly Springs, which is a town maybe like 20 minutes away from here.
Gotcha.
But I spent most of my childhood here, and then I went to college actually in New York City.
Okay.
I actually went to North Carolina Central University for a year.
Eagle Pride, yeah.
Right, exactly. I went there for a year, and when I was in high school, it was the only school I got into, and it kind of just, I didn't like that. So I kind of got my act together. I ran for freshman class president.
Dope.
I got my GPA up, and then I reapplied for all the schools that rejected me, and then got accepted into all of them. And I initially wanted to go to Syracuse for a music industry program, but they didn't allow me to do it because I was a transfer student. So
Gotcha.
I went to St. John's University in New York City, where I wanted to kill two birds with one stone, so I went to school for business. And then I went to do internships on the side. So I did up to 6 semesters of internships.
Oh my God.
Where I worked
Are you serious?
Yeah, I worked at a marketing firm called UG Strategies first, where they did marketing, or guerrilla marketing, where that's like flash mobs or big, giant, like poster boards and events during like festivals. I started off doing that, and then I studied abroad in 3 different countries after that. And then I came back. I worked at a recording studio called Platinum Sound Recording Studio for almost 2 years. During that time, I also worked at MTV and VH1 as a production management intern, doing a few shows there. And then I stopped interning and then opened my own record label and started making my own music. And at the time I was rapping, and right now, well, at that point I wasn't feeling it, so I kind of had to figure out what I wanted to do.
Oh, wait, so how old are you?
I'm 28 right now.
You're 28 years old,
Yeah.
and you've accomplished all that. That's really impressive.
Oh, thank you. What my goal is, or my plan is for right now to kind of master making music. My goal is to produce music for people, or really continue to make a record label, because I've always loved Motown records. As like someone like Berry Gordy, he always ran the label, but he also knew how to create the music.
Yes, absolutely.
So I had to take the time to figure out, how do I actually create and learn what music I like before I actually make music for someone else. I do a lot more than that. I have a YouTube channel, so I make a lot of my own videos. So I learned how to, direct and edit videos and learn about audio and just, editing, all that
I mean, it's
stuff.
so much. What led you to even being interested in music in the first place?
Well, I'm the only child on my mother's side, so I had a lot of time to myself. So I would listen to a lot of music, and then eventually I wanted to learn how to make that music. I would analyze music, and I was like I said, a big fan of Motown records. So I would just spend time listening to Stevie Wonder, and actually would I'll tell you this: when I was younger, I would have his my piano, and I would have his music, his sheet music, but I actually would blindfold myself and actually teach myself how to play the music by ear.
Oh my God.
Because I would want to figure out, how did he learn how to make music without reading? And his ears are more advanced because he couldn't see. So that's how I kind of started myself when I was younger. I actually went to school to learn how to play the flute and then the drums. Doing that, I was really interested in the drum, but I transferred to a different middle school, and that middle school didn't allow me to play the drums. At that time, I was really upset about it, and I was really into that MTV TRL era where it was like Blink-182. And I really wanted to buy a guitar, and I really wanted to teach myself. That's where I get my nickname Santana from. I've been playing guitar since I was 11. I've been playing by ear. I kind of had an epiphany moment. Honestly, it was with Patronata. I listened to like one of his songs, it's called If. It's a Janet Jackson remix. And when I heard it, I kind of felt like, oh, I can make something like this. And that's when I bought this machine.
Right.
It's called Native Instruments machine.
Yep.
I spent a lot of money on it, so I decided, well, I'm not really good at the guitar, I'm not really good at the bass, I'm not really good at any of these instruments, but I really want to get good at this. And then I started listening to other beat makers and then learning about who produced what song and started doing research and then really getting into it. And that's when I asked my grandma for her vinyl collection.
Shout out to grandmas.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah.
So she gave me her box of my grandfather's old vinyl from back in the day, which it wasn't a lot. And then I bugged my great aunt for her vinyl collection. She wasn't trying to give it up, but then eventually I got a knock on the door and my grandma and my great aunt was there and they were like, get it out the car.
So before we get into hearing something that you got, who is your inspiration? I think you talked about Dilla before.
Right.
Yeah.
So honestly, my biggest inspiration is from day one, before I even realized was Motown and Berry Gordy. I wanted to show you this when I was in elementary school. I was obsessed with vinyl before I even knew it. I made these
dope.
Motown records, like
That's
you know,
awesome.
they're fake vinyl records that I made like when I was younger, and I would just listen to the Jackson 5 and you know, Stevie Wonder, Marvin Gaye. The next is James Brown. He's like the best producer out there because he's such a huge influence on the entire hip hop industry. He's the father of funk, but he also is the father of hip hop.
Right.
The next person is J Dilla, of course. I have the shirt.
Dope.
J Dilla.
Dope.
He's a huge influence. A lot of people, I feel like a lot of people still don't know who he is.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know what music he's produced.
Yeah, the contribution he has to the culture.
Right.
Yeah.
It's I didn't even realize until I started getting into making music who he was and such a huge influence in his story.
Yeah.
Because I actually have a lot of issues with my stomach. I have a huge I go through a lot.
Yeah.
And he went through a lot. He went through a sickness and he made beats until the day that he died.
Yeah.
So my setup right now is I have some JBL's 305
JBLs are
monitors.
dope. Yeah.
They're red. They're just red. The main part of my production is this machine. It's by Native Instruments. It's amazing. I love it.
I heard great things about that machine.
The next thing is this Audio Technica vinyl player, and this Korg Micro Core XL. It's a synthesizer.
Okay.
This big keyboard is an M Audio key station. It's just MIDI keyboard, which just means it's just keys.
Just keys.
Yeah, I can just put a sound, any sample onto the computer and play it on my keys. But I wanted to show you how I took one of my
one of the 5-minuters.
Right. I took a song. It took me 5 minutes to make, but it's actually the most popular song on my SoundCloud.
That's crazy.
It's called For Dilla, and I wanted to show you first the sample.
Okay.
The song is called Strangers in the Corner. So.
Okay. I like where this is going.
I don't use anything that most people use, pretty much.
Okay.
This is unique. So, this hardware, this beat machine, it comes with its own software.
Okay.
And the software allows you to do everything.
Okay.
You don't need.
So you just did that instead of getting this extra software.
Right. I don't need Ableton. I don't need Logic. I don't need Fruity Loops. It's its own entity, so I can do everything within it. So,
that's crazy. Okay.
Yeah. Right. But I tuned it up like 3 notes. I tuned it up 3 notes. So. And then.
What?
And then.
Oh my God.
And then how I chop things up. So I made this song for Dilla. It's for J Dilla. So I chopped the song up really uniquely. So and then there's some sirens. Yeah, so.
You are a beast. That's crazy.
So the next part, like I told you, I made this beat in 5 minutes. So that's the first part. The second part is the drums. Okay. So let me see.
Yeah.
That's
dope.
And then, like I said,
that's fire. That's insane.
So I also added vocals from a documentary that they made for J Dilla.
He loves it so much.
I'm in the studio from the time I get up, time I go to sleep. I mean, I leave out, go get something to eat. That's it. It's
that's
like
that pause, right?
I can't
that's that
do
break right
anything
in here, right?
Right. So it's kind of complicated at first, but once you understand like how machine works, but I
mean, it's just broke down in the same levels of what I've seen at Ableton or Fruity Loops.
He loves it so much that he just got that drive just to work all the time. He's more like a workaholic.
Woo!
That's it. It's like
oh my God.
Definitely scientist.
Woo!
That was Erica Badu, by the way.
Oh my God.
So that's just how I made this song. So I just wanted to show you.
Man, that was dope. Thank you so much. This is so cool. I mean, you are definitely now one of my top 5 favorite producers.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
All right, y'all. That is it for the first season of Respect the Producer. Make sure you follow Scrapt on YouTube. Make sure you check out Sarah also. Peace out.